definitely take our own path when it comes to, designing pro audio equipment. And, a lot of the things that get said about Grace Design are generally true in that we try to design and build audio equipment, playback equipment, microphone preamplifiers and stuff that sound super transparent and are very open, very detailed sounding. And that's of course kind of how we stake our claim. So, the first fans generally that we win over with our equipment are people that sort of demand, very transparent capture or playback, who want to really, really experience the most detail and, the highest resolution possible in their work. But I think that a lot of times what people don't realize about our equipment, if they haven't heard it, and the people who have heard it do realize and are really excited about, is that not only is our equipment really, really transparent and able to resolve very subtle details in program material or in, a recording, but it always maintains a musicality that we feel is probably paramount to everything that we do. So you can have a fast microphone preamplifier, you can have, solid state design, it's transformerless, it can be very accurate, it can be ruler flat, it can be all these things, but it still has to be fun to listen to. And that's really what we want to do. We want our equipment to reveal everything that's in the source, but present it in such a way that it's not taxing, it's not, aggressive or metallic or just not fun to listen to. So really that's our goal, is to present the character in an uncolored way. First of all, a lot of collaboration. So we have our team, we have great electronic design engineers, we have great, software design engineers, we have great audio engineers, and lots of musicians as well. And so coming up with the spec of a product, the idea, the spark of a product, is always a collaboration of a bunch of really, experienced and intelligent people. And we test each other, and it's a good forum for being creative and coming up with the best product for what we want to build. I think one of the interesting things that we like to talk about, and it is a manufacturing technique, but it's also a design technique. Over the years, there's always been a lot of, focus on whether or not a product is Class A or discrete. And sort of addressing the latter, the idea of a discrete circuit, for us, we generally use integrated devices with our electronic designs. And we feel that using the right integrated device, amplifier, if it's designed properly, is an advantage. And this is because you can create much more compact circuits with less circuit traces, there's less stray capacitance. All in all, if it's properly applied to the kind of circuit that you're designing, we feel that in the kind of modern circuitry that we like to design, it's an advantage as opposed to building a discrete amplifier with all the components laid down on a board. So anyway, and what that gets to for us down the road, and as the years go by, we feel like, modern electronic design didn't stop in the 60s. Of course, there are tons of great designs, tube and transformer-based, professional audio circuits out there that sound amazing and do incredible things and have made, a zillion great records. But it's not what we do. We feel like we're constantly trying to design to the most modern standards using, the best available practices and designs and devices available. Because we're trying to push our envelope in terms of resolution and bandwidth and low distortion. And so all of this combines, we're able to, leverage modern circuit board design, surface mount circuit board componentry. Our circuits become smaller, they become more efficient. They become quieter, they deliver lower distortion, and that's what we do. So we really try to stay on the leading edge of electronic design. So Michael and I grew up tinkering quite a lot, and as I turned into a musician, he turned into an audio engineer. These were just sort of natural paths that we took, and it's always been a collaboration for Michael and I. So I've always been the kid in the band, and he's always been the guy recording the band. And so we grew up making records together, and collecting stereo equipment. And honestly, my first memories of this whole thing that we do together now are, of course, his stereo. We had access to my dad's stereo when we were growing up, the Marantz tuner and the dual turntable and the big weird headphones and the Beatles albums. And that kind of was the spark of what all this is, like developing the passion for music and developing the passion for listening to music. And then, of course, in the 70s and 80s, it was about having a big stereo. So Mike got into, buying big, we had a big Crest power amp and built these huge, awful speakers with, 15-inch drivers and Rankus Hines horns. It was basically like total redneck PA equipment, but it was loud and we loved it. And, that was why we got into this, was so we could go up in the attic and, crank, whatever, Hendrix records. And I think that was the spark.